Hello, everybody. Welcome again to a lovely Thursday evening. I hope you've all had an amazing week so far. I can't believe the week is nearly finished. It's like you just start on a Monday and when you look again, it's weekend. But there's something like 49 days till Christmas. I know because I belong to the Santa Workshop website. And there they've got the time ticking. Yesterday it was 50 days, 11 hours, 6 minutes and 23 seconds till Santa comes. So those who love Christmas, Tammy, if you're watching this, I know Christmas is your favorite time of the year, so you know what, enjoy it. I love Christmas. I'm like a little girl at heart. And you'll never get too old to enjoy Christmas, I think. And so welcome everybody, those that are watching us via our channels, thank you very much for your support, it's so highly appreciated. And I'd like to, just before we get started tonight, to just inform you, next week Thursday, which is the 12th, will be our last Bible school for the year. The reason why that we are doing this is because a couple of our students are writing matric, and they need their time just to rest and also to study. And then there's also some of the high school kids have also started writing the exams now. So I know that tomorrow will be the last youth for the year. I know it seems extravagant and it seems very early, but it doesn't help us postponing it for 3 weeks for the exams, and then we have 1 week and then it's school holidays. So we just made a decision, amongst us in the church, and next year is going to hold amazing and beautiful stuff. I believe it's going to be an amazing year for everything, for business, for pleasure, for church. So I'm looking very forward to what the Lord has planned for us and what He's doing. And Colin and I will be going down to Umtata in December. So around the 16th, 17th of December will be our last church service for the year. We will be closing the church. We will be doing it via live stream from Umtata. We're going on a short missionary trip, and we're also going down to bless the pastors in Umtata. We've got a lot of stuff to take down to them. They're very excited. They're looking very forward to it. So if you are praying for us, please pray for our journey, for the vehicles to run, and for finances to come in for support. We appreciate your prayers on a daily basis. So that's about all the announcements. I think, Colin, anything that I've forgotten? Carl, anything that I've forgotten? No. So tonight we're at our second last teaching on leadership, and up to, from the past few lessons, we have established now what is just being a normal leader and what is being a conscious leader, and how to do the shift and how to do the switch. And we've learned that from the point of view of a curiosity brain, you're learning and you're growing at all times. And we are operating from curiosity and not a willing or a desire to be right. So we as general people, I believe, need to get to a place where we're not trying to prove that we're right all the time. Because, there's a saying that says you have the right to be wrong. So take that as you wish. But, when you are in a state where I'm right and it's my way, then you get to a place where you become arrogant and you become less likely to have people around you. So you could become very lonely, because it's not very nice company to be in, somebody who always thinks that they're the right one. So we are not just in a survival mode, we are now making our own destiny. We are taking the next step forward, we're learning, we're growing at all times. We have seen that life happens for us and not to us. It's not situations coming against us. It's basically us coming against the situation, because we're going to take the bull by the horns. We're going to do what we need to do, and we're going to use that obstacle as a stepping stone to the next position. So we also learned the significance of being present in the moment. Remember we did that little exercise where we focused our brain to present time? So I have noticed a change sometimes in the dinner table. All the cell phones are not coming out anymore. And I know we were eating breakfast or lunch at Tea Garden. And I think one of the boys took their phones out and Colin immediately said, "Your phones, no, focus." So that's one of the things we have learned, is how to focus in the moment. And when we do that, then we use those as teachable moments. So in tonight's lesson, tonight and next week, we are going to focus on the 15 commitments or the 15 characteristics that a good conscious leader should portray or should be acting in. So we dealt last week with number 1 and 2 of the 15 without anybody actually realizing it, and that was responsibility and curiosity, where we take 100% responsibility for me. It is not one pie shared amongst 8 of us. It's 8 pies of 100% responsibility for each, which means we achieve more and we win as a team. There's no blaming and there's no pointing fingers. Everybody does what they are responsible to do, and they're accountable for what they're responsible to do. So tonight we're going to look at feelings, candor, gossip, and integrity. And then followed by next week, which will be appreciation, genius, play and rest, and then there are others to as well. Like, what do I do from this point on? If I tell my story like this, what happens? So leading with authentication, actually, not authentically, sorry, spelling mistake there, is leading with feeling, integrity and candor. Now, authenticity is be who God made you to be, not a carbon copy of anybody around you. All the identity of Christ within you guards, and governs you. So I have to be the best me. I cannot be the best Colin. I am the best May, and that is good enough for every single person I come in contact with. And many times people have the issue within themselves that they feel that they are not worth anything to anybody else, or they're not good enough to fulfill what you are expecting of them. And that's nonsense. That's actually a lie from the devil, because God made you an individual. He made you with certain talents, with certain treasures, with certain abilities, and those abilities make up your character, and that character slots into the character of Christ. And so we form one body, because everybody comes with their specialness, their uniqueness. And that's what God wants. He wants to develop your uniqueness, because somebody out there needs you. Not me, you. I have other things I've got to do. Candor means commit to say what is true and be a person others can depend on, and that others feel comfortable being themselves around you. It doesn't help that I'm a leader and nobody feels comfortable being in my presence, because then I'm not a good leader. I have to make you feel like you want to be with me, that you want to work with me, that we want to win as a team. That's what candor is. It's me being honest enough to do that, and you are dependable upon what I can help you with, or how we can work together. Integrity, this is vital. It's acknowledge and express the true you. Now, I know a few months ago, Carl preached a brilliant message on the Super 7, the 7 habits of a good leader. And I challenge everybody, whether you're here in the church or on live stream, to go back onto our channel and listen to that again, because it's really good. And it's 99% of those characteristics are God. So I ask you a question tonight. Are you willing to feel feelings? Now, I know for the men this is not such an easy task, because men don't feel feelings. Men are more about grey and black and white, where ladies often feel with their feelings, so they will react out of that. So we heard in lesson 2 that a conscious leaders value feelings. They value their feelings and other people's feelings. Remember, we went back where they listen to what their team wants, and how does this make you feel, and what does that make you do, and that's what a conscious leader does. They're about the feeling of their own self and others. Many leaders think that feelings must be avoided at all costs. Believe the facts only. And it's true. I would say 90% of leaders out there are like that. It's about facts. And they throw their feelings out. But how do you know if something's wrong if you don't have a feeling? We'll get to that. Avoid your feelings, and leading by facts is only madness, I say. It's impossible to live and lead this way. And we would be missing one of the greatest resources for decision making, team building, and creativity. Remember, we have the Holy Spirit within us, okay? And God gave us senses: touch, smell, taste, see. But so why? Is that just coincidental? No. He gave them to us because He gave us the feelings. And coincidentally, the Holy Spirit uses the sensitivity. He uses joy. He uses boldness. He uses smell and senses. Oftentimes people can depict wrong by just smelling something. Some studies have shown that EQ, which stands for emotional intelligence, is more important to a leader than IQ, which is intellectual intelligence. Now, in the school systems and most of the world systems, they focus so much on your IQ, and if you don't have a certain IQ, then you're below standard, and it's not about the IQ. How many times have you walked into a job where they said, well, sorry, it's not about the experience, it's about what you've learned. But it's sometimes in the experience and the feelings of things that more gets resolved than just having the knowledge of doing it. So your heart is least as important as your head. We actually see this often in society, where businesses want degrees and diplomas without experience. And we are saying that the heart has a place in the business world. Emotional intelligence begins with becoming emotionally literate. So you've got to know and understand and read your emotions. Emotional literacy begins with knowing what a feeling is. And we define a feeling as energy in motion. So you'll see I've put the E, motion. Energy in motion. Emotions are often attached to thoughts, but they are not thoughts. Emotions are not thoughts. You cannot think an emotion. Emotions don't occur in the mind. They occur in the body or in the heart. For example, like butterflies in the tummy. How many of you youngsters get butterflies in your tummy when you start dating? Or when you're nervous? You get that in your belly. Or what about a pressure on your chest? Or constriction in the throat? Tears in the eyes? Tightness of the shoulders or the jaw? Those are all feelings and trigger points of feelings that you can feel when you're feeling emotion. Conscious leaders connect their bodies and learn the language of sensation. Sensation is a language you can learn. Again, women are more prone to these reactions than men as they feel easier. Sorry, men, you can fight me on this, but stats prove it. Women are very much more emotional people than what men are. Emotions can come and go. Sensations in the body last only 90 seconds. The body knows how to allow the sensations and how to let them go. But what do we do as leaders? We override our emotions. Now don't cry. You're not allowed to cry. It's nonsense. It's manipulation. Stop crying. You know, that's one thing that I've heard. Or, so what happens is we suppress our feelings. And we deny the emotions, which causes energy to get stuck in our bodies. This is the main cause for much suffering and pain, psychologically and physically. And you can go to any traditional healer. I'm not saying doctor. I don't know doctors. I've never heard a doctor ever say this, but like a homeopath and that. They often will say that a pain is a reflection of some emotion that you haven't dealt with. And so your system blocks because you're not releasing the energy. So it gets stuck in your body and suddenly a pain develops, and it's because you haven't come in touch with your emotions. So how do we release an emotion? Number one, we make a commitment to feel our feelings. I'm going to choose to feel what I'm feeling. Number two, we name the emotion. When a feeling comes, name it. There are 5 core feelings that one feels: anger, fear, sadness, joy, and sexual, which is also known as creative feelings. And I have all the men's attention right there. Locate the feeling in your body. Get out of your head and into your body. So in other words, stop thinking about it, start feeling it. Stop thinking thoughts as best you can and start feeling the sensation in your body. So you've got to stand and you've got to say, what is this? Where is this feeling? Where is it in my body? Okay, I'm feeling it in my stomach. No, I can feel it in my fists, my back, maybe my jaw. Oh no, it's in my neck. So that's how you start feeling the feelings inside your body, the sensations. Then point number 4, you describe the sensation. What is the sensation doing to you? The sensation's pinching me, or it's popping, or it's twisting, or it's pushing and pulsating. It's buzzing or swirling in my stomach. I feel gnar, you know. Then point number 5, you welcome the sensation. So you acknowledge it and you welcome it. What are the sensations doing? Oh, sorry, my apologies. You welcome the sensation. This goes beyond our intuition because we want to fight our feelings. So it's our natural intuition to fight. Understand what we resist persists. In other words, what you come against and you resist will continue to persist in your body until you deal with it. So breathing is one of the forms that allows you to accept that feeling. Just this acceptance will allow the sensation to release through your body. So you've got to almost make a conscious decision, and you've got to align your mind with your spirit and your heart. So that the minute you accept that this is what I'm feeling, butterflies in my stomach, and it's because I'm nervous of the situation, it releases from my body so it doesn't become a build-up inside of me. And I start listening to my body, and my body is telling me what the next step is to do. Why am I nervous? What am I fearful of? What do I need to deal with? You know, there's nothing to be fearful of. I'm safe and I'm secure. I don't need to have this feeling, so let it go. Number 6, you match the sensation. If the sensation remains, match it with a sound movement. If the sensation could make a sound, what would it be? If I had to match it to a movement, what would I do? This comes naturally for babies. When they have pain, they wriggle and they cry. When they're hungry, they scream, and so forth and so on. When they find something amusing, they giggle. And they don't have to think about it, it just comes naturally to a baby. So point number 7, you question the emotion. The question you ask after feeling the sensation is, what are you here to show me? Emotions are filled with wisdom. So if you are feeling angry, you ask the question, what do I need to change, or what do I need to end? Maybe there's a toxic relationship that you need to end that's not doing you any good, or maybe you need to change the way you're seeing things or the way you're doing things, and that will stop you from becoming angry. If I have fear, what do I need to be learned here, or what do I need to face? What is this fear I need to face? Sadness, I need to learn to let go of grief. How many times do people hold on to the grief of a lost one? And they cherish every birthday and every anniversary, and it's a celebration. And sometimes, I'm not saying let go of the person, let go of the sadness of the loss. Especially if you know they've gone to heaven, because you should be rejoicing that they're with Jesus. Joy. What or who do I appreciate fully? And what can I celebrate completely? Sexual or creative. What do I need to create and bring into the world? Feeling leaves behind tremendous wisdom and knowing. So that's the portion on feeling. You've got to get into touch with what you are feeling. And when you are present in the moment of a situation, identify the feeling that you're feeling in that situation, because that will give you the wisdom to deal with the situation. Point number 2 is candor. Are you revealing or are you concealing? Unconscious leaders conceal important facts and just leave out 1 or 2 little facts or beliefs or judgments or feelings in the hope that they will show up as being right rather than you winning. So from that you can see that candor is a form of openness and honesty. Concealing happens when deep down a leader is afraid. And you say, what are they afraid of? Well, they are afraid that they have said more than what they should, and then would look and sound like they are selfish. Or they would lose the ability to control the situation, because now they've told everybody about the situation. And they would be judged and criticized. So again, yeah, you see the leader that is under the line, that is acting out of fear and survival, and the right to be, my ego is number 1. Other people's feelings will be hurt, and their lives would be filled with conflict and drama. So they choose to hide and to not reveal everything about themselves or the situation for these very reasons. But a conscious leader faces all of the above fears and still chooses to reveal themselves. Imagine if we never revealed Christ. You know, Romans says that the earth is groaning for the manifestation or the revealing of the sons of God. Imagine if we choose not to reveal ourselves. Do you think Christ would be shown in the world? No. There would be chaos, drama. They do this because deep down they know that the cost of withholding is greater than the cost of revealing. And sometimes we need to just look a little bit further down the line to see, if I do this now, what is it going to do then? And 80% of the time, that will either make you change what you're going to do or continue what you're going to do. When they conceal, they know that it costs them integrity, it costs them passion, and it costs them loss of energy. Loss of creativity, and they become superficial. It costs them their freedom, because you're now bound up in chains. And remember last week, the guy that put those barriers around them to protect themselves? So they're putting themselves in bondage by hiding things. Just be an open book and you will not be chained up and bound. It costs them their freedom, as they have to pretend to be something that they're not. In the long run, this costs them, the team, and their organization, because the best decisions cannot be made on half-truths and concealed facts. If you have a court case and you stand before a jury and you give them half the facts, how can they make a judgment at the end of the day to your best ability if you're not giving them all the facts? A conscious leader will ask, if I were to reveal all that I need to about this and me, what would I achieve? And they close the gap between concealing and revealing. What they are thinking and what they are saying. And thirdly, they welcome their fear and are curious about what they can learn from themselves and about themselves. Conscious leaders notice, fourthly, how it costs them and their team. The cost is not being candid. The cost of not being candid must be greater than the control over the situation. In other words, the ability to be open and honesty must outweigh the fear of not telling and not letting go, and you wanting to control the situation. And finally, they ask themselves the question, am I willing to let it go? If they answer yes, then they let it go. They let go of being attached to the view of being right about the reality and the issue, and then reveal yourself so that others get to know who you are, rather than having an argument to prove that you were right and they were wrong, and speak the truth with an open heart. You can only move on when you let go. If I constantly have my eyes set on what I've been through and what I have not got and why I haven't got it, I cannot look to the destiny ahead of me, and I cannot take my next step. I need to let go of what has happened there, breathe and move on, because there's the goal, and the Bible says keep your eyes on the goal. So point number 3 tonight is gossip, and this is a very famous one amongst everybody. Are you willing to give up gossiping? A conscious leader is not somebody who will gossip. Giving up gossip is a radical decision. This actually comes so naturally to people in general. Kids at school gossip. Have you heard what this one did? Have you seen that? No, and they're back and forth. Ladies in an office are prime examples of that. Did you see what she was wearing today? My goodness. Churches, that did. Come, let me tell you about this person quickly. Do you know what John did and Joseph did and Peter did? And why is gossip so pervasive? Because it's fun and it's entertaining. 90% of the time you are very entertained by somebody talking about somebody else. And none of you can tell me you're not. Gossip builds alliances and causes people to group together as cliques. So gossip is very good for insecure people because now suddenly you have been accepted. People are connecting as long as they are gossiping. It can make me feel good, at least for a while or in a moment. I get to be right, and I get to be better than the people that I'm gossiping about. I'll just add a little thing there, darling. It's in your own opinion that you feel good or you feel better than the person you're gossiping about. I also get to hide my feelings of anger and fear and sadness as I am projecting onto somebody else's. It's always interesting to listen to somebody gossip. Then you need to establish what is going on in their lives. What are they hiding? It also gives me something to talk about. How many people cannot generally talk to each other unless they're gossiping? Some leaders use this to find out what is going on in their organization or church and with the people that are working for them. So you'll see from a gossiper, a conscious leader is a direct person. They will come to you straight away and they will talk to you. But a gossiper goes behind your back. So sometimes leaders will not confront the person they are interested in or finding out. They will gossip to somebody else in the office to find out. And you know that saying, eavesdroppers never hear good about themselves? 10 to 1, the story that's being told by the gossiper is not the truth. So what is gossip? Gossip is talking about another person in a way you wouldn't talk about them if they were with you. Gossip is saying something about a person you haven't directly said to them, or you don't intend saying to them. Gossip is talking about somebody in a way that you are right and better than they are. Gossip damages trust. If somebody gossips about me, there is no way on this earth that I will trust them ever again. And lets the steam off. So it's just temporary. It blows steam out of your own life, which feels good in the moment, but does not resolve anything. It wastes time and money. It is giving up your ability to be 100% responsible and puts you at a position of always being right. Telling the truth often brings discomfort. It's never easy to tell the truth, but telling the truth sets you free. The Bible says the truth will set you free. Number one. Number two, I've always said to my son, don't lie to me. I cannot help you if you lie. You have got to tell the truth, then I can assist you. Conscious leaders often go directly to the person involved and the situation is diverted and resolved. It also stops people from being your alliance. A team that you can count on, rely on, and trust no matter what. When you can rely on a teammate or a companion, then you're saved from the obstacle and together it becomes an opportunity. Point number 4, integrity. And I think this is probably to me the most important part of being a conscious leader is having integrity. Because there's so much that comes from integrity. Conscious leaders know the value of integrity. They know when they are in integrity and when they are out of integrity. Now, integrity is being honest or being ethical, and is much more than that. Integrity is energetic wholeness. This is like an electric flow through a strand of light. Remember the old Christmas lights that you used to get on a Christmas tree? If one of the little globes were broken, then the whole circuit didn't work. And that's what I'm referring to here. When one of the lights goes out, it disrupts the flow of energy and on the whole strand. When we are out of integrity, we interrupt the full flow of our aliveness. Conscious leaders pay great attention to their energy levels. Remember, whatever energy you have within you, you are portraying it to the person that's with you, because that's the feelings we get. Sometimes you can stand next to somebody and you can actually feel the love that they are portraying out. That's an energy that they are releasing out of them. And that's what I'm talking about here. Conscious leaders are very in tune with that energy, because they know that that energy needs to flow in the team for them to be creative and work together and achieve the results that they need to achieve. In fact, to them, energy management is more important than time management or money management. And I'm sure there's people that will probably differ to that, because a lot of guys will focus on the money management and the time management. But when you have your energy levels and you are working in sync with a team and everybody is doing their 100% responsibility, your money will sort itself out, your time will sort itself out. One wants to manage this is to know when your energy is blocked or constricted and not flowing. They become aware of the 4 main causes of blocked integrity. Number 1, responsibility that we did not own, feelings that we did not feel, truths that we did not say, and agreements that we did not keep. Integrity comes from responsibility, feeling, and speaking the truth. We need to be impeccable with our agreements. When we say we are going to do something, then we need to do it. For example, I will be at the meeting at 10 a.m. Integrity should allow us to be there earlier than that time, never late, unless for some unforeseen circumstance. But then integrity allows you to contact the person, to pick up the phone, to say, I'm sorry, I'm stuck in traffic, I'm going to be late. That is having integrity. It's when you say, I'm going to do something, and you see that something through till the end. Integrity is also keeping a secret when you have promised not to tell somebody about it. Making your intentions clear, your agreements, make it easy for everyone concerned to know exactly what to expect and less chance to mess up or let down. So you've got to make your intentions clear. I will be there at 10 o'clock unless circumstances foresee otherwise. That's my guarantee. Shaylin, I promise not to tell anybody your secret. That's integrity. That is making my intentions as a leader clear. And you cannot fault me, or you cannot say that. Shailen's so secret. It's so secret, Shailen doesn't even know it. Integrity will allow you to honor almost all of your agreements that you have made. And most conscious leaders honor 9 out of 10 of their agreements. The honest and ethical kicks in, the one that they don't honor, because they will then discuss prior to the dishonoring of that agreement. In other words, what I said earlier, if you cannot make it, or you have promised to do something and something comes up, or for example, if I promise to take food to the church and I slip and fall and hurt myself and I can't, integrity will allow me before the event to phone somebody and say, listen, I cannot make it, I'm lying flat in my bed, can somebody please assist me, or can you find another means? So that is what integrity does. Integrity also allows you to renegotiate the one agreement you cannot honor. So I'm sorry, I fell this week and I've hurt my back. I won't be able to do the lunch at church today, but I promise next week I will switch out with somebody. So you renegotiate your terms and conditions on that contract. And it's all about a principle. It's not about a dogmatic thing. It's just about being polite enough to make the arrangements with the person you are agreeing with. When conscious leaders act with honesty, integrity, and ethics, they restore trust. They honor their responsibilities, and the entire team wins in the long run. So, principles of a conscious leader being authentic and full of integrity. Number one, they decide. They make a clear decision on your intentions and see them through. Stick to your guns. Do not continually change your mind. How many times does somebody say, oh, I'll do this, and then 2 months down the line, no, it wasn't for me, or I don't feel like doing it, Number two, they pause and evaluate. Pause to evaluate whether what you are doing will impact you or others in a positive or a negative way. So before you actually make the commitment, is this going to affect you negatively or positively? How will it affect the person that I'm going to make the agreement with? And then number three, they speak the truth. At all times, speak the truth and then listen. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 4 says, he who waits for perfect conditions will never get anything done. Steps to becoming a conscious leader who is authentic. A conscious leader is always awake to new possibilities and current situations. They are always present in the now moment, and they are always engaged in conversation. So there comes the candor, the openness, the honesty, the talking. I go to you directly. So they make a choice. They make a choice to move from drifting to committing. In other words, I'm not just going to go haphazardly. I will commit to do this. B, they stop blaming and they start claiming. We dealt with that last week, where I'm not blaming you anymore. I take 100% responsibility. I'm the one that's got to fix this mess. Conscious leaders realize the power that is associated with responsibility. And conscious leaders never miss an opportunity to learn and to grow. They make choices that either enhance rather than degrade or tear down. And the final point is they move from being right to being conscious. So I have put a little bit of detail in there, but we don't need to go into that because we did go through it last week. It is almost every time that a choice has to be made. So right through this whole lesson of leadership, it has come down to choices. It has come down to, what choice do I make as a person? What choice do I make as a leader? How does my choice in this situation affect my team? And once the team has made the choice and the decision, how do we affect and what is the impact of the outcome? And that is what conscious leadership is all about, being aware of that, being aware of every individual person in themselves, portraying the integrity, being honest, being open, working together. It's never about me. It's about you and I together. Somebody once said, I actually heard something, and I think I did mention it in one of my teachings. It's not you coming against Colin or you coming against me. It is Colin and I coming against you. In other words, we working as a team, and we are impenetrable as a team. If he chooses to go on his own or I choose to go on my own, we're a weak link, because then we're doing our own thing in our own strength. But the minute a team bonds together, works together, and works on the principles of, I'm responsible for that, you're responsible for that, you're responsible for that, we're all responsible for 100% of this project, results and breakthrough happen. So next week we will do the final the appreciation, the genius, the playing and resting, and it will be the last lesson of the leadership training. So if any of you have any questions or you have missed something that I've said, I've gone too fast or anything, you're welcome to come to me. If you've heard anything I've said that is wrong, you're welcome to challenge me. But I suggest you go over these notes again and again, because there's so much here for our daily living. And don't forget to continue to pray in the Spirit. It has been really a phenomenal thing. Not that I have never done it, but I have done it more this week than before. And it does make an impact. It really does make a difference. So I challenge every single person that is watching. Make a conscious decision to speak in tongues. You will see a difference. Get into the Word of God. Build your life on a solid foundation. If you don't know how to meditate on it, then come to us. We will show you. We will show you how to read the Word. And if you really don't like reading, there are a lot of audible Bibles out there. Put your cell phone next to you, plug your earphones in, and listen to somebody reading the Bible to you. Your spirit is still alive. So have an awesome week further. We will see you on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And blessings to every single one of you.